Good morning, everyone. It is August the 10th, Sunday, August 10th, 2025. Uh, Let me make sure I have sound. And if anybody could give me a sound check in the comments to make sure it's good. I'm still learning how to use this bloody microphone. Not sure I like it. Broadcast not available on X. Anybody on X that sees this? Dana, I see you in the room. I've got input saying that it is not available on X. That does not look like it's accurate information. Is that cool? Let's see this. Too many. Where is this? So frustrating. However, it's available on my computer on X. All right, so you guys are good? Are we good on X? This is the kind of stuff I really don't like. And try to do these. Oh, by the way, the topic today is I am the paintbrush. I am the brush, okay? Let's see, I see this as, I see this 236 people on X. Is there a problem, guys? Okay, well, let's roll then if there's not a problem. All these little details can stop us from producing. So welcome, happy Sunday. I'm excited for today. I just spent about 30 minutes thinking and continuing to just I am. You know, when I'm getting ready for these things, I spend 15 or 20 minutes. Oh, thank you for the comments too, guys. Will, thanks. It sounds great. Good morning to Mark Kramer. Good morning to Dana. Thank you, guys. While we have people coming into the pews and looking at all the stained glass and the statues, I remember walking into church when I was 7 years old, being mesmerized by the beauty of all the, I grew up Catholic. My family was very Catholic. I don't know that we knew anything else. But I remember walking into this beautiful church with all the stained glass windows and the big statues, man. There was just statues everywhere and images and coatings, and the incense were burning. And I remember the incense. I thought that was awesome. In fact, you know what? I can't do it right now because I'd have to get up, but I would encourage you guys all to do something symbolic, whether that's, ring a bell, light a candle, light an incense, do something that creates a bit of ritual. I find ritual to be very good. And I think this is what while people are coming in the room and we're all getting kind of settled in, get your coffee, your tea, your water, whatever you do. Maybe you're driving down the road to go see your family today. Maybe you're driving for your job tomorrow. Maybe you're hustling right now. I don't know. One, I welcome you. And two, I would ask that you get in the spirit of walking into some space that represents goodness and light and a, look, we have 8,760 hours a year. For an hour and a half times, I think there's 52 weeks. So we got 75 hours a year that call it 100 hours a year that we need to make a little time to clear our minds, make a little time for ourselves, and ourselves being, hey, what am I? You might be a mother, you might be a father, you might be a business person, you might be, someone that you think is really important, or you may be think you are unimportant. I am here to tell you that you are unique. You are one of one, and I want you to think about walking into that church, that thing, that whatever space that allows you to immerse yourself in an hour, hour and a half of self discovery. Like that you're not the mother anymore. You're not the big celebrity. You're not the dad. You're not the brother, the sister, the artist. You're the business guy, the doctor. You are you. And I have never met anyone, never. I have never met anyone that, in all honesty, told me they had everything figured out. It was all easy peasy. They had uh, come to the point of their, you know, epiphany that they had reached perfection. And in that, I don't think I'm going to reach perfection. It's funny. I don't even try for it. It's not something that I would even think about trying to accomplish. Maybe that's because I'm lazy. Maybe I'm a bum. But I have my hands, my entire life is just full of not being perfect. I will spend most of my entire life asking myself questions that I cannot answer. And I think, and that I cannot answer these questions that I think are important, like, what am I doing here? Have I accomplished what I'm supposed to be doing here? Why is it that I feel uncomfortable sometimes? And I think my discomfort, by the way, is an indicator, leading indicator of something not working for what I am here for. And that's been my, you know, just got to start writing stuff down now because I'm already starting to have cognition. So it's kind of like I'm already starting to go, oh, wow, I go through my life and I have to continue to uh, reevaluate the energy that's in and around my life, and who and what am I connected to? And is it allowing me, or is it in any way stopping me from being absolutely who I am designed to be? Look, I could go through my whole life. I do fully understand that I could be literally just sitting here doing mental masturbation, spiritual masturbation, if you will, and jacking myself around thinking that I'm actually making progress when all I'm doing is some mind games and I'm not really going to advance. Well, you know what? Maybe that's true. Maybe all of this that I'm doing and thinking about, am I being productive enough? Am I being authentic enough? You guys let me know when you're being authentic enough. Uh, in the last couple of years, I've realized that one of the greatest, the most rare thing on this planet, in my perspective, is true authenticity. I mean, like really authentic, without all the glitter. Most certainly, I have not met um, an abundance of authentic human beings. And the funny thing about being authentic is authentic requires me to be authentic in the moment. And as I am an organism that is dynamic and I continue to change and evolve, I'm pretty sure that my authenticity and the level of authenticity I have will change over time. The reason I bring that up is that it's really dawned on me that I am this book, right? Like my life is and one of the things I really hate about doing these shows is that I use the word me too much. I hate that it's me. And I find it can be just a little too self-absorbing. I'm terrified of not maybe terrified is a strong word, but I am very suspicious of being too interested in myself or even in my authenticity. I think that is even bizarre. If I'm bouncing around enough for you in the first 12 minutes and you have no idea where we're going, that's probably because I'm bouncing around. And what I'm trying to get to is when I walked into the church, the Catholic Church, that big Roman signaling center. I mean, it was just the messages in the Catholic Church, at least in the Catholic Church that I went to, my family went to, it was so many symbols. I mean, the symbol of a pastor or a priest in long flowing robes and goblets of gold, special wafers and books sitting on what looked to me like really expensive marble, with Mary Magdalene, looking down in great angst as she holds Jesus across her knees, and the half or almost a literal nakedness of all these people. I mean, here we are, never thinking about naked things, not wanting to think about naked things, yet we walk into a church and there's nakedness everywhere. I mean, the messages and the images, the impressions. I can still remember, excuse me, I can still remember putting my hand on the pews and how soft that wood was from so many touches of people over and over and over, sitting on those chairs, touching those chairs. It was really fascinating. It's fascinating to me that I still have such a memory on this. And so the reason I'm bringing this up is that I'm really starting to learn to use my language a little bit better and not be so critical, judgmental, enforcing. I was a really enforcing human being in my earlier life. And I realize now, I don't think you can really push people. And I don't think shaming people and moving them into some kind of, I think you're going to motivate them or power move them into something is very successful. So, but I am flabbergasted at which the weight and the image I have of being 6 and 7 years old, sitting in a church, smelling these smells, looking around at the people, they all dressed up. This was a reverent event. Like it was a reverent event. I need these kind of reverence moments. I need that moment. Like I took 15, 20, 30 minutes before I got here. I lay down and I am the paintbrush, and I am nothing more than the paintbrush. And that's what we're going to talk about today, okay? The title of this, I don't think I've ever had titles, but the title of this sermon this morning, Sermon of I Am, is I am merely the paintbrush. Nothing more and nothing less. Nothing more and nothing less. By the way, the nothing less is really important to me. To say that I am the paintbrush and to say that it's like, it is not a minimizing word. It is a tool necessary for me to communicate. And so this is an analogy. I come here, I could say, well, I'm a preacher or I'm a spokesman or I'm leader or I'm a mouth, whatever. But like I I do very little. I literally have, for those of you that are just joining and don't know me, I literally am just starting to write on this book here for this page. I have no script here. I am attempting, to show up here. I'm selling you absolutely nothing other than I think if you were to tap into this exercise of I am, and I hear so many people going, hey, how can I get more? How can I be more? How can I accomplish more? How can I find myself? I don't know any other way to do it than to start writing. I am Gary Cardone. There's one of one of me. There's not one of two, one of three, one of 14, one of 28 billion. I am a one of freaking one. I'd be very surprised if there's going to be another one like me. And if there is another one like me, God bless you, son. Okay. Like, may you not end up dead in prison or hurt somebody, because like it is only by miracles that I'm actually here, much less sitting here pontificating what I think is a really valuable truth. But I find part of me it finds it absolutely hysterical. And there's a little guy on my, lives somewhere around here that's going, dude, what the hell are you doing running a church? Like I have so much negative. It's not constant, okay, but it is very there. And I think the reason that a lot of people don't, or complain that they don't excel or accomplish what they really want to accomplish, is this talk. Even when you're doing something productive, it is very easy for me. Like I have this great fear of becoming twisted. Back to the church, it is easier. 6 or 7 years old, priest gets on front of the sermon. I mean, I never forget this. I mean, remember now, he's got a Bible. In my mind, his Bible is this big. It's opened up. It's this large. This guy's got magic powers as far as I'm concerned. And he said, it is easier for a camel to get through the eye of a needle than it is for a rich man to get into heaven. And I'm sure I'm bastardizing that, but let me tell you something. That hit me like a thunderbolt of lightning. A thunderbolt. In my life, and I actually think this is true for other people. I have no proof of it, but I would encourage you to look at this. When you have had a truth hit you, or if you have come across a truth, if you're aware, I think people get messages. Like anytime I have been hit right here, whether it's business, it's business. If I have followed this in business, every time this thing hits, and I believe I've actually done it every time I felt this, it has been a tremendous opportunity for me. Every time I follow this, I learn something that I would never have learned anywhere else. And when this comes off, I don't ask anyone for permission. Zero. And I don't tell anyone about it. This is a very private communication, okay? This is a very, very private, I'm going to just say it. This is a very private conversation between, I think, see, I am being instructed to be here. Okay, so every time I get into my little bullshit about, hey, Gary, you're worried about this, and I am being instructed to be here. I know that sounds crazy, okay? But this message, this thing happened to me, and it continues to happen to me. And my job now, I really believe, and again, I'm not constructed on this, right? But I really believe that what I am doing right now is tuning myself. I'm tuning myself, this frequency thing, okay? This frequency and harmonic is very, very relevant to me right now. For some reason, um, I think the more I walk in here and say, hey, I am going to be a freaking paintbrush and nothing more. I have no original thought. This is not an ego thing about Gary. This is me being an instrument, a tool, not a Gary's got a heavy IQ. Dude, I am literally being asked, am willing to be a tool. I am willing to be a soldier of truth. I am a warrior of righteousness, of goodness, of justification, of justness. I like that. I could easily make a decision to be less than that. But I know what being a great warrior in business is like. Okay, cool. Check. I know what it's like to play on a baseball team and score a run. Check. That's awesome. I love doing that with teams. But have I actually discovered who I am? Who I am and what I'm here for? Okay. And like I listen and watch humanity right now. I'm really paying attention. And one, the lack of authenticity on this planet is scary. The second thing is like look, if I just realize, I'm actually starting to believe I'm becoming less and less judgmental as I get older. And I had been a judgmental son of a bitch. In fact, I grew up in a family, we're Italians, man. We're nice to you, but then we'll criticize everything behind your back. I remember us doing that, hey, where am I going with that? I learned it's easier to be critical than it is to be understanding. It is. It's easier to be critical. Let's be honest about it. It's just easy, dude. The cool thing is when now I realize every time I'm critical, and that's exactly why I am here in this spot on this Sunday morning. There's 2,000 people in the room. So, hey, look, guys, the reason I'm doing this, the first time I did it was in October. It was a Sunday. The Saturday night, y'all have heard this story, and I'm sorry to bore you, but maybe there's 2 people that have not heard the story. And this is the message about feeling the thunderbolt, this thing that I would ask you first off, if you have ever felt this nudge, raise your hand or make a comment. Yeah, dude, I know I have had a feeling that I knew, hey, look, this is what you must do. So if you've had that feeling, awesome. If you have had that feeling and not activated it, not moved on it, acknowledge that. Please acknowledge that, okay? Because if you don't acknowledge that you didn't listen to an extremely powerful message, which I believe I am attracting the message of why I am here. Decode me, God. Okay, let me read why I am supposed to be here. I am not smart enough to read the Bible and understand it. I just don't understand all that gobbledygook. I'm sorry, I don't get it. Explain it to me where I don't have to use words. And a Saturday night, I'm being Mr. Critical. Okay, so here it is. Gary's being naughty. Gary's not being perfect. Gary's being critical. Now I can sit there and just bitch. Or I can say, well, you're just a judgmental son of a bitch. Or I could say, shit, man. If I'm complaining about it, then there must be something I can do about it because I'm actually bitching about other people. And it hit me. Well, the message to me came, well, big boy, why don't you go start your own church then? And I knew there was this comma there, this like, because I'm literally talking to this thing. Not talking, but I mean, like, there's communication occurring between me and myself or something. And it was a pause, and then it was like, bro, it's not like you have a camera, you have an audio feed, and you know how to use StreamYard. So, hello. It was actually, I mean, if this was God communicating to me, he was actually quite shaming in a way. Like, bro, quit being a little baby. Okay. Quit being a little girl. If you don't think there's a place for you to go to church and you get irritated when you do go to churches because it all gets whatever, why don't you go start your own deal if you know what you're doing? And see that now that is where we move from being a spectator to being, oh shit, man, I'm being asked to move into the game now. Like I got called out by the major coach, okay, and said, well, why don't you go hit the field, hot shot? You go throw the balls. You step up to the plate and hit a 100-mile-an-hour fastball when 2,200 people walk into a church. I have always wanted to go to war. Okay. I have always wanted to be on the battlefield. I think I've lived many lives before this. I think I've been on so many battlefields. It's disgusting. I really like them, man. I would find it really, really exciting to actually. Well, I think it would be an awesome way to die is hanging out with a bunch of guys fighting for something. I mean, think about it, man. Hanging out with a bunch of guys, whether I like you or not, dude, whether you're in my religion or not, whether you're in my social club, whether you're black or white, green or yellow, dude, if we have a common enemy and you got a gun and I've got a gun and we're not pointing at each other, we're pointing at somebody else. It's an awesome game to play. 2 cats, 20 cats, 200. When was the last time you were part of an army and felt like, damn, dude, I am making a monster difference? I am clocking, clipping, and snipping. That's a technical term, by the way. Clocking, clipping, and snipping with my buddies. You go talk to guys that have been the military since young age, and at 58, they still know some of these cats. I cannot say that about business. I cannot say that 25-year-old relationships from business at Natural Gas Clearinghouse are calling me on a regular basis going, hey, bro, just thinking about you. How you doing, man? None of that happens, by the way. If you think business is going to develop you close relationships and friendships, I know people that are known by millions and they have no friends whatsoever. They couldn't grab 3 real friends if they had to. Their Rolodex is fucking long as it gets, but like, hey, I'm in trouble and I need a friend. Nada. Okay. Do you think that it requires time, energy, and authenticity to develop a relationship with another human being? Does it require time, I would actually say it also requires an interest, okay? An interest in that other person or that character, right? I must have interest. I think I need to make some time. Does anybody know where I'm headed with this? I need energy to devote to that character that I'm attempting to communicate with, get in frequency or harmony with, share a frequency back and forth, not just, but back and forth. And it has to be authentic between these people, these terminals, these characters, right? Interest, I have to have interest. I have to have time. By the way, I have to have in my mind the ability to have interest. If I'm so busy with me, and this is why I really don't really struggle with this because I worry about, oh man, how many times if I go run grok, how many times did I say me and I? The only reason I'm doing the me and I right now is I am throwing myself out there because I've been told to, and I'm going to do this I am in front of you, even if it embarrasses me. Even if it embarrasses me and I look like an idiot, which by the way, I most certainly will not. It's amazing, man. I have had all these doubts, and I'm sitting here going, dude, I'm going to do this I am. I'm going to do it as authentic as possible, holding nothing back. I'm sharing my life with you on this I am thing as a 67-year-old man who's, got probably more money than I absolutely need. Been very fortunate. Thank you very much. Worked my ass off. But in doing all that, I have been lost most of the time up until the last 12 seconds. Okay. I have been lost most of the time. And to sit here and you guys go, oh, wow, look at this cat, dude. He's got everything. I have nothing. Okay. It is a lie. All I have is who I am, my authenticity, my truth, am I actually discovering why I'm here? Like I need to do something important. No, I just need to be the paintbrush. I don't need to determine what is important. As soon as I determine what is important, I have become the artist, the creator. My job is right now to be the paintbrush. It is to step into the flow. Okay, I have no paint here, man. I've never done this. And what I'm trying to say, this is not me. Okay, this is Gary. For some reason, I still like it. For some reason, I got the message. Okay, I got the message, so I'm here. And maybe, maybe I get some lawyers. I know there's a group of lawyers down in Tampa that are monitoring everything I'm saying, trying to be able to use it in a court of law one day. And maybe you guys will come up with, hey, Gary's crazy. Gary's saying that he's being instructed to do things, and he's going on the internet and he's doing Sunday masses. That's right. That is what I'm doing, because I am capable of communicating authentically, clearly, articulately, articulately. I never went to speech school. Okay, I'm not built to do this. I didn't go to seminary or whatever you call it. No offense. I haven't read the Bible 37 times. I probably don't even understand the Bible, okay? In fact, I don't understand the Bible. I understand very few things. In fact, I don't even know anyone that can explain gravity to me. So while we're talking about how stupid I am, the more I'm doing this, I am, what is my purpose? Uh, I will say, I need to draw a picture about this, but the more I do this, and actually I knew that when I started this, because I had that feeling. This might be a long session today, guys. So settle in here. But I need to. I need to. Well, I'm just going to do what I'm being told to do. So there are times when I have this thing that hits me, and listen, I know some other people, okay, that talk about this. It's not many. Not many will talk about this in a way that I don't think it's really weird. Um, but most certainly, I'm going to encourage you to like maybe think about your body as a aura. Okay. Like just think about how much space do I take up? Like me, this is me, right? But I feel like I take up more space than this. Like I really don't want you coming much closer than this, right? And what I'm asking you to do is I'm asking you to, have you ever gotten a sense that you should do something or not do something? And where in your universe do you get this feeling? Okay. Pay attention. See, I can't tell you that your indicators are right here like mine are. Mine, it hits me from right here. I mean, it's every time the same exact feeling. It's like someone slapping the shit out of me. And this is really important for me to acknowledge. And the reason I'm bringing it up is do not disregard these weird things that happen. You lawyers, you can say I'm crazy if you want, but I'm the only one getting closer to freedom here. Like I really am starting to get close to freedom. And the more I get close to the freedom from my own craziness, my own questioning of the questioning of what I'm doing with it. Oh no, don't do that. Don't put that black right there. See, when I do not need to question what I'm doing. Now, look, I'm using the paintbrush as an example because one of the things the paintbrush has taught me is, and I do this when I start this show, and when I'm most enjoying doing art, I do it then to, hey, look, I'm the paintbrush. I know people that say, hey, I'm going to paint this landscape. I don't paint like that. I mean, I'm starting to, okay, like I'm starting to do some stuff, but even if I know kind of what I want to do, it's not me forcing it. What colors I have literally picked up the paint and it falls out of my hand for whatever reason, right? Just or I can't get the cap undone, or dude, you know what happens? I let it there. I have learned, hey, this doesn't want to go on this canvas. Imagine if you were able to live your what if the world really is just one big magic place? You remember when you were a kid and you were like, dude, I believe in magic. I believe in fairies. I believe in little goblins that do magic things. I'm talking about good fairies. Well, hey, if there's good fairies, then there's bad fairies. But I have always wanted the world to be this magical place. And what if it is? What if I am able to tap into a frequency? And I think I'm getting close there. I am getting close. But let me tell you, it is hard. It is lonely. It is very alone. Very, very alone, isolating in a way. And by that, I mean that it becomes really, real. I become really sensitive to frequencies that are antithetical to what I'm doing. Like this is the road less traveled. Guarantee you, man. If you have not read The Road Less Traveled in the last 10 years, you should read it. It is an awesome book. If you are in trouble right now, if you're in the kind of pain that few people talk about in their lives, if you have had something happen to you traumatically, if you woke up one morning and the world was like, whoa, what the hell just happened? By the way, if you live long enough, I don't care how perfect you are, you will have one of these events where your life, you see into a world where you're like, oh shit, man, I have no tools for this. I have not been here before, or I have been here before and I didn't pay enough attention to it. Now I'm going to actually, it's got my attention. Live long enough. The most judgmental and critical of you live long enough and you will wake up and realize how humbled you need to become. And I think this is my thing about doing video and people knowing who I am. And then I become infamous, famous, whatever. And the dopamine, the drug, the attention, the accolades, it terrifies me. I want to be authentic. I want to tap into this perfect, beautiful energy. I know that I have some I know the problem is the more I do this, I mean the thing is this is really, really working exceptionally well. So much so that I'm actually having now a hard time articulating some of the things that are happening, right? But they're some of them are not very comfortable, but some of them are magic. And what's happening is I am actually figuring out where my tuning fork actually is. And that tuning fork, like I noticed some things in the last 10 days that are like, it's not for the faint of heart. And it requires me to become really aware now. Okay. Like think of yourself. This is the way I'll think about it. I'm walking down a small town streets, and they've got stores and candy stores and malls and gas stations and little lawyer offices. Think of about a small town, but there's activity all down the street and there's corners and you turn and go to the coffee store. And I'm walking around in my journey of life. I'm walking on the road. I'm on Ocean Drive Boulevard. Then turn and I'm looking around. When I start asking the universe for messages, I need to understand that I am probably not going to figure out how that message is going to come packaged. I must open my mind to where are these magicians? Where are these fairies? Where are the books that are going to lead me down this road less traveled? Because it is the road less traveled. Okay, like grossly less traveled. Grossly less traveled. It requires me to look at self and find out, am I a selfish pig? Am I only caught up in me? Or am I actually here adding some value of something that actually is lasting. It matters not how much I motivate you. I can't motivate anybody. I can barely motivate myself. This is why I do the IMs. If I don't do the IMs, I will go off track. It becomes very clear to me when I'm off track. I'm nervous, man. I'm all over the place. This is why I have learned that I am extremely myopic almost in what I do. Like there's just a lot of stuff I have no interest in doing. And it's a little frightening because I'm beginning to tell people, I'm not really interested in that deal. And, why do I want to go to that conference? I do not. I have no interest in flying into some deal, having my champagne glass or water glass up and talking about a bunch of, let's make some more money. I mean, it's cool if that's where you're at in your life. I got it, man. It's a fun game. But it has become so boring today. It became boring at 41 years old. I was like, I'm done with this. Dude. This is so easy. It's ridiculous. It truly, if you're looking for business advice, look, I have a lot of business advice I can give you. Okay. I mean, I know how to make that gig work. Don't give up. It's the only thing you have to do. Don't give up. Focus on one area and become brilliant. Brilliant. And just know it better than anything else. And don't give up. Don't give up. Other people are so stupid, they'll fail. They'll make mistakes. They'll get greedy. They won't look at themselves. They'll get a divorce. They'll lose their money. They'll lose their kid. They'll go to jail. They'll get involved with some bad person. Live long enough, it will happen. I don't care how perfect you think you are. So I am, what am I? I am an antenna. I am a energy emitting device for God. How's that? For good orderly direction for whatever the order of the universe is, whether it be a God is one entity or gods. I do not mean to offend anyone. I just don't know. Okay. I know that I ain't it. That's all I got to know, man. I am not God. I'm pretty sure you're not God or anything close to him. And that when I'm done getting to a point of being perfect, I then have the opportunity to come and fix the rest of you fucks. But until then, I'm going to keep my criticism to myself. I'm going to keep my frequency aligned. And by the way, stay away from me if you want to jack with my frequency. And by jacking with it, I mean that you don't really appreciate it. If you don't appreciate it, stay the hell away from it. Okay, you have nothing to do with this energy. Go do your own energy thing. My intention is really good to help this planet because we cannot do this one human being at a time. I need a bunch of people doing this, okay? And we're not hippie freaks. I am a powerful tool. I am a monster paintbrush capable of doing whatever that paintbrush is supposed to do at the time. And if you want, listen, I didn't start this I am thing I want to be the white light of harmonic frequency. I think I'm actually now starting to sound a little crazy, but like my feet are really firmly planted on the ground. If you guys know me, I gamble, man. I smoke. I read a lot. I watch a lot of news. I live in this universe. Okay, I live in the material world. but I'm not trapped to it. I'm not trapped to it. I actually, for the first time in my life, I feel like you know the story of the giant and the little things, the little midgets. What's the story of that? I mean, it's not David and Goliath, but it's the story about the big giant and the little people, and then they all knocked him down, and then they what's the story? They did strings all over him, be in the world, or the Gulliver. That's it, Gulliver's Island. Okay, for the first time in my life, I just had this image of literally things are being pulled away from me. My brother and I had this communication this week, and like I felt some of these things just popping off of me. It's fascinating. Like I feel like it's freeing me in some way what I'm doing. And when I said the thing about, hey, I just don't really have an interest to go to all these meetings and hang out and do champagne. And when I say that, man, everything in my business mind goes, dude, do not say that to anyone. You do not tell businessmen that you're not interested in going to their fucking parties. They're like, whoa, this upsets a lot of people. This will upset a lot of people, okay? Because businessmen go to a lot of meetings they have no interest in going to, don't need to go to them, and in fact, probably do it because it's funner than going on. There is a lot of stuff that goes on in business that is non-necessary, very unnecessary. It's but you know what? I have no interest in just doing this either. I'm not one of these people that I want to read the Bible 16 hours a day. Okay, I'm not that kind of guy. I'm not like, "Ooh, let me meditate." I'm not a hippie freak. Okay, I actually, I think that would be really. It's not my frequency. I was most certainly not cut out to sit in a yoga room and hum. That it's not. I most certainly know if there is a God. Okay, my tool's a little sharper than that. Um, I don't think that. I don't think that's what I'm here for. And I make no small thing about it. I have been led through ceremonies, beautiful ceremonies by Indians, traditionists, religious, spiritual leaders. Take me through unbelievable experiences, and they had nothing. These people had nothing in the material universe. Boy, they were like plugged in to the spirit world, to the world of life, organisms. I remember doing something in Austin once. Um, it was absolutely spectacular. Many years ago, and it had no drugs, nothing. But it was a ritual. Okay, and I think that's where we started this morning. We started with me remembering, and I was hoping that you would remember some ritual, some bell, some religious event, some, maybe walk with your grandfather. I didn't have a grandfather. Well, I did have one. He wasn't going to do much walking, but um, some mentor, some teacher, maybe a book. One day you read a book or listened to a song, and your universe lit up, right? Your universe lit up and went, hey, that's true for me. That's true for me. And so in keeping with I am the paintbrush, let's remember that a paintbrush can just sit and lay and do nothing. It can. It's not a very effective paintbrush, though, right? Now you look at that paintbrush and you're like, man, that paintbrush really looks like it could hold some cool paint. It could. I am the paintbrush. I choose to put a piece of paper or a canvas in front of me that is blank. One thing I noticed many years ago, and this is really important to me, that people know this, whether you want to know yourself or whether you want to be good in business. Um, I believe there are two types of people if we really like get judgmental and polarized. There are those people that are excellent at filling in a canvas, meaning that you have the dots, and then you have the maybe you have some colors, but people can fill it in and do an excellent job. And then there are people that are much better at the blank canvas. I am not interested, and I'm not good at copying or managing or expanding something that's already there. What I am good at and what I get really excited about is when there is no road in front of me, there is no paint on the canvas is blank. This is my area of brilliance, if I can be so bold. I'm extremely comfortable in the whiteness or the darkness, like where nobody else is. I really like that space. It's terrifying, but it's where I excel because it's almost like it allows me to smash and create, right? Like really almost break things or just do things. However, the key here is action. Okay, I have to and so if you should ask yourself, hey, and I think in different situations, I'm a different player. If I go into a highly organized or highly disorganized group of people, my blank canvas options may be limited. I may not have any options to be the blank canvas player for that weekend or week. I may have to learn how to follow other people's canvases and not be a problem. Well, no. You asked me to be here, so I have to do my blank canvas shit. No, I need to learn to work with other people. Okay, come on, man. I don't have to be like, but the blank once you know that, okay, there are going to be people, most of the people listening to this are not going to do the blank canvas. It's not your deal. Most people, 98% of the people here will be a better detail organizer than me. Most certainly. Okay, 98% of the people. Organizing something and keeping it all nice and orderly and clean, expanding it, drawing out process, drawing out management, drawing out checks and balances and ways to analyze it and to make it fly. Analytical, give me supply and demand. Good, I'm good to go. I don't need to know the analytical on the legal document on page 32, comma, this and that. It is not where my gift is. I'm sure there are very, very gifted people that can go look at all that stuff on the paint, on the canvas and decide what they need to add or retract. I have zero interest in it. You need to know where you are, man. Are you that organizer or are you that creator? See, what am I? Am a creative human being. I'm a monster, a beast, an absolute disruptive son of a bitch. I've chosen to own that frequency. Why? Because I was built for it. Okay. Like I feel really good in that energy with a good heart, by the way. I will fuck you up something serious, man, if you start messing with me. But I have a good heart. I don't, zero bitterness in my life. Dude, I have some reasons to be bitter. I don't want to be bitter. I've had, like I'm actually having to ask myself, my God, dude, how many people can you attract in your universe that will absolutely betray the shit out of you? I am now having to start to look at it going, dude, do you even know how to pick anyone that doesn't end up betraying? I mean, like, just the disrespect and the, I mean, people are phenomenal. Now, what did I just say? What I just said, unfortunately, was I need to look at myself. Why am I being so critical and disappointed with people saying, hey, man, damn, I get betrayed? Who am I betraying? I am betraying me and you by not being me enough. I don't need to worry about these other people, dude. This is a real issue, okay? Imagine the, see, I do a lot of weird things, but this doesn't make any sense. But this is frequency. See, this is my frequency. I I want to know what my frequency is, okay? And if I have I am and I am not, okay, this is why you have to decide what you're not. I think it's a lot easier to figure out what I am not. I am not a scientist. Okay. Don't have to do any science work. That's cool. I'm not a doctor. Okay, cool. I'm not going to sell drugs. I'm not a liar. I'm not a cheat. And you just go down the list, man. I'm not a rapist. I'm not any of these bad things. Oh, okay, cool. I don't sell drugs. I'm honest. Oh, I got a positive one there. Oh, if I'm not dishonest, what am I? I don't want to be like everybody else, not authentic. What? Hey, if you complain at these movie stars and stuff, TikTok, criticizing. So I get to decide one, who I am not. I then get to decide how I'm thinking. Am I a paintbrush? Am I a blank canvas? What am I? What am I doing? Where's my game here? Where is my game? Where's my challenge? Okay. Look, you're going to go. I've gone through periods in my life for 2 or 3 years. I am not very productive. Okay. And by not very productive, I mean, I'm lost. Now it feels like I'm lost. And maybe that's the nomenclature or the verbiage I use that I'm lost, but I am lost at the time. And what do we know about being lost? Dude, the only way that I can possibly ever find myself is to figure out what I am. I think you have to be lost sometimes. When I'm ginning and spinning, okay, when people are like stroking me and I'm making a bunch of money and I got my girlfriend and my dopamine's all hitting on all the cylinders and everybody thinks I'm cooly mooly, I'm probably not making much progress in my life. I'm not asking myself, am I really like jacked into this frequency? I'm not saying that you always have to go through that, but I think that perhaps misjudge I misjudge my losses because I actually think that being lost has helped me find my way exceptionally well. It is in that like, wow, I am. It's the betrayal when you feel just left alone. You're like, bro, no one else is going to help you do this. No one. And you know why? Because no one can. They're their own paintbrush. So quit criticizing people. Understand that when you're judging people and criticizing people and smashing people, um, it's an area that you need to look at. It's an area that I need to look at. It's just such a cool indicator. The action, by the way, critical, is a passive action. And then I am, okay, that's the potential. The action, however, or the non-action. By the way, non-action is action. Okay, 0 miles an hour is a speed. 0 miles an hour is a speed. Action. This is why I feel blessed to have the courage and the ego or the narcissism or whatever you call it, courage to do this, because I am actually getting the most out of it. The non-action, listen, everyone is going to have this inertia problem, okay? An object in motion tends to stay in motion. An object that is not in motion, which is a motion, it's just 0 motion, tends to stay in that motion, inertia. Now, I may have gotten that a little wrong, but I think generally that's what inertia is. And that means that why are you shaming yourself or allowing anyone to shame you over not getting in the right action, dude? You're in the right action because you're in that particular action. Okay, now I need to I am not a loser. Okay, I'm not a loser. What does that mean then? Oh, okay, I need to start taking steps that losers don't take. Losers don't take action. And by the way, I'm not meaning losers. I mean, you know what a loser is? A loser is someone that's not doing what you know you should do. Okay, I'm not trying to shame people. I'm so tired of people figuring out why people are inferior. It's like, let me know when you figured out how you're inferior, and then we'll go figure out the core problem. But right now, I need to put a Band-Aid on my insanity. And that Band-Aid gets fixed by I figure out who I am not. If you were 16 years old, 26, 36, 46, 56, 66, or 76, and you have this, man, I'm just sitting here doing nothing. I don't know who I am. Start writing down, well, I am not a loser. I am not a wanker. I am not a sinner. Make it real though, okay? Sinner, I don't even know what that is. I am happy. Happy has no definition whatsoever. Please, guys. Happiness has no definition. Stop chasing happiness. It's a joke. I cannot even believe no one's ever said, by the way, how do you define happiness? It is a word that has no definition whatsoever that is consistent among another organism. No two people share the same definition of happiness. Therefore, there is no happiness. That's just the dumbest fucking word on the planet. Complete. I haven't ever been complete in my entire life. Okay. I've been so incomplete, it's ridiculous. In fact, the more you talk about me being complete, Tom Cruise, come on, dude, you complete me. Ain't no one's going to complete me except myself. And then, who knows? Maybe then it ain't getting complete. I'm not a complete thing, dude. How can I be complete if I don't even know what I am? I'm doing things here I had no clue I had the capacity to do. You know why? Because I ain't doing it, man. This is all my ego. Oh, Gary's doing it because he's got curls on his hair, and he whatever. Okay. Whatever. But you know what Confucius said, right? Makes me think Confucius said, if you're the smartest guy in the room, you're in the wrong damn room. If you're the smartest guy in the room, everywhere you go, bro, your rooms are way wrong rooms. I am a sponge of truth and light and beauty. I'm an artist. What does that mean to me? Why do I keep saying I am an artist? Because I have been saying I am an assassin my whole life, man. I have been since 22 years old, just like literally terrified to stop, terrified not to compete. Just like, I mean, like, go, go. I make some money, I smash a bunch of money away when I'm 39, 40 years old. And it's like, damn, dude, that didn't do shit. That didn't make me feel one penny richer. 27, $30 million and one 39 years old, right? Didn't make me feel, I'm making $7 million a year, getting thrown stock like it's candy. 600 people working for me, throwing $4 billion around like it's candy. Okay. Remember talking to my brother, calls me up one day and what you doing, man? Well, getting ready to short the entire power market. What does that mean? Means if I'm wrong, I'll probably lose my career. And why would you do that? Why would I do it? I just spent the last 5 years of my life setting this play up, and it's the right thing to do. See, the right thing to do is the right thing to do sometimes. That, you know, I was very, very comfortable. And this is a good thing. I will say I was going to say the word risk taker. I think some of my family members would say that I'm an aggressive risk taker. In fact, I am not. I think I'm grossly, grossly misunderstood by many that are maybe think they're close to me. But I'm not actually. What would have been a great risk for me, without going into the details on that particular deal, would have been not to do it, because I knew it was the right thing to do, man. Now, there's going to come some times in your life. I believe this. By the way, that would not be the only time this would happen to me. And it would not always be around business. The right thing to do is the right thing to do. See, it would have driven me crazy. I would have mentally bankrupted myself had I not put that trade on. That trade would go on to be an extremely profitable. That trade, actually, basically what I did was I sold 500 megawatts, an entire power station, the output for 5 years in Germany, on some information that I helped structure in a regulatory environment. And, you know, to be able to do that trade, it was like when the trade presented itself, I'm like, wow, this could cost me my career if I'm wrong. Maybe this is a message in life, okay? But I remember when I was about 30, 35, 30, yeah, that I started looking around at the business world and went, wow, no one ever, hey, write this down. This is a cool metaphor. No vice president or president or CEO or board ever got fired for the deal they didn't do. When that dawned on me, I remember talking to a guy named Hank, and he was going to bid like $4 billion for a power plant. My bid was 800 million, and he's bidding 2.5 billion with French power money, EDF's money. I called the guy up. This is totally not cool. I'm in California. I call the guy up. Bro, why are you bidding $2.5 billion for that thing? It's only worth $800 million. Um, and for him, see, he didn't really care because EDF had the money and they decided they wanted to buy. They were playing a different game. But see, for me, and he went and did that deal, and it cost him a shitload of money. Well, he didn't get fired either. He didn't get fired. And the truth is, when I saw that trade, it just gave me more and more understanding of the whole space. And I was like, I might go broke doing this, but this is the right thing to do. And when you know something, you know something. And the reason I'm bringing this up about no one ever gets fired for the deal they didn't do is that people don't remember. You forget to inventory. Hey, are there some deals that you didn't do that you should have done? Because the real world works like this. The real world, when you're not working for General Electric making 300 or 400 or Arthur Anderson making 700 grand a year, and all you have to do is just keep the process in order. You don't have to take that client. Nobody's going to know about it. You know what? When you miss great opportunities in your personal life, you don't get to blame General Electric or lean on your 401k or your little precious career. You have a hole in your soul, man. Okay. When I defy the truth of me, I actually hurt myself, man. I damage me. I basically nullify. Somebody said here, there's no oppression on this planet. There is absolute oppression. Okay. And it's coming from me. It is coming from me. Okay. I should have been, well, I'm not going to say that. I'm not even going to go on the COVID thing. Okay? I was actually pretty vocal, but I should have been more vocal, and I probably should still be more vocal. I am. Oh, look, you notice this happens to me, right? Like every now and then, like I went through the COVID thing, I immediately get disturbed. Frequency went all erratic as soon as I bring up COVID. Man, my frequency just. So what do? I go, hey, I am focused. I am Gary. Like it's a really good. What's the word for it? It's like an anchoring point, right? Just I am. Take a deep breath. Okay. I am. Where were we? Is this making sense, guys? Okay, I'm not able to look at all the comments and stay focused on what I'm doing. We got 4,100 people in the room. I will remind you, the first time I did this in October of last year, again, a super hack, super hack. I'm sitting here October of last year, coming up on a year, man. And I'm absolutely staggered at the end of the hour. There was 1,000 people in the room. Actually, Dana, I would like to go see that first thing and figure out how many people were actually in that room. And I made the comment, I cut the number in like half, whatever it was. It must have been maybe 2,000. I said, look, man, if 1,000 people show up here. Now, remember, I'm doing these shows live. They're not scripted. I have this thing, again, it comes from without me. I just make this bloody comment. Hey, man, if there's 1,000 people in here every week, I'll show up here every week for the rest of my life. This is a problem for me, okay? Because when I say things, now that came out of me extremely naturally. This is important for me to start to become aware of what's happening in my universe. Am I forcing messages, or when something comes out of me that had, I mean, it is like vanilla pudding, man, just like I mean, with English heavy duty sweet cream on it, is flows out of me. If there's 1,000 people showing up at a church, dude, I have an obligation to show up here for the rest of my life. And I told Dana this. I'm like, hey, if you noticed, I made that commitment. You may have not noticed it. This is a big deal to me, man. Once I say that, like, in reflecting on these things I've been doing, by reflecting, I mean, I'm not talking about reviewing like all these videos. I don't really review all of them or many of them. But when that flowed out of me, I'm like, dude, I just made a contract with the universe. Like for me, that is what it is. Okay. I made a contract with the universe, not necessarily you. I mean, I do feel responsible to you. I do. I feel responsible. I said, like, how could I not show up if there's 1,000 people all showing up in a communion? There's not 1,000 people in 10 churches around the world today meeting, talking about anything. Now, you may be able to do email links and learn about this and learn about that and get hammered for marketing and promoting. Like, this is the area we need to work on. The money's easy, man. And I know you're sitting there going, dude, you have money. Okay. I got it. Okay. I do know, but I haven't always. And quite frankly, if you understood what I do with money, you wouldn't even really think that I actually have money. It's not like I don't live a crazy, stupid life. I live a very, very quiet, I think productive, but it's not glittery, and I don't spend huge amounts of money. If you're the smartest person in the room, you are in the wrong room. Why do I keep saying that? It's because it gives me permission to be a little uncomfortable. If you notice, I play a lot of games with myself. I do little tricks, like I commit to things 2 months from now that I don't want to go to, but I know that if I commit to it, I'll end up there. And then I'll build things around it. I'm most certainly somebody that needs to make some future plans. And I'm most certainly somebody that needs to like align my energy and decide, what am I doing? Okay. I think that it really makes sense to ask yourself, what am I trying to accomplish here? Why am I here? I'm here to want to confront this is not an act of no courage. This is actually an act of sticking my face on a video and just begging people to make fun of me. Make fun all you want. I know I'm doing the right thing here. See, isn't that cool? Like, I don't even care. It's not like I don't care and I'm just throwing you out. I can't not do this. I was instructed to do this. And you know why I keep saying that I'm instructed to do it? I'm trying to give you guys permission, because I think, at least in the West, we shame each other. I'm not going to shame you for getting your frequency harmonized to your own truth, man. So if you're getting messages, I encourage you to acknowledge those messages and, where appropriate, communicate them. Where appropriate, communicate them. Now, I will tell you, the conversation I am having with you today, I have with no one. I do not have it with my twin brother. I don't have it with my sister. I don't have it with anyone. There is no one for me to communicate this message to. There is only one, me and whatever's running the damn universe. Whatever is my guiding energy source. Okay. All I have to do is tap in and be. Make a decision that, oh, I'm the paintbrush. I'm not the captain. I'm not the paint, by the way, unless I bleed and sweat. I am not the paint. Now, I may be able to, use my fingers, put a little bit of my own oil on there, but I'm not the paint. And I need something else. King Daniel's like, let's get it to 5,000. I'm not done here, dude. We'll get to 10,000 if you want. There should be 1,000,000 people in this room. There should be 1,000,000 people in here. I am in a church weekly with 1,000,000 people. If you guys all just start saying the church of I am is 1,000,000 people and growing, I am involved in the greatest revolution of enlightenment in 1,000 years. I mean, we could use a group of people that actually got in frequency with each other. I zero interest in your politics. I'm zero interested in your religions. Zero interested if you are in an exclusive religion. I don't have any interest. Okay, I have interest in being with other human beings that aren't in special clubs. I'm so sick and tired of the special clubs. I'm sick and tired of the rich clubs. I'm sick and tired of the super rich clubs. I'm sick and tired of the poor clubs. How about this? I am a human being. I must be here for a damn purpose. And I think you must be here for a damn purpose. All I have to do is recognize I am a one of one. The moment I begin to recognize that I am a one of one, not a one of many, not a one of a medium class, one of freaking one, rare as it gets. It is not my job to figure out how rare you are. It's your job. It's not your mother's job to figure out how rare you are. It's not your coach's job, your boss's job. 60 or 70% of the people that go to work every day are miserable. If you don't have the ability to be a little more miserable, the I am part's not going to work. I'm sorry, this is not for the weak of heart. You have to be strong, dude. You have to be strong to look at yourself in the mirror and go, wow, man. Humility is grossly underrated. You and I should constantly be asking ourselves, what do I think I know? What am I so certain is true, but in fact, it might not be so? I've gotten to that point in my life. I question everything now. Okay. The only thing I don't question, there should be 1,000,000 people in this service today. Okay. There should be 1,000,000 people here. You can't show me a dozen people that have their shit together. Think about it, man. There's 5,000 people in here. All 5,000 people could not come up with 12 people who have a life of that we would look at and go, wow, amazing and magical. What a butterfly effect that cat has. No one. Okay, you might think about somebody that's 1,000,000 years old, but like there's no one in this room that can find 12 people. I don't think all of us could find 12 people. Which means that we're all on the exact same journey, man. We just haven't set the goals properly. Our goals have been on, let me get through college, let me get through high school, let me get through 6th grade. Never, not one human being sat down and said, dude, who are you? why don't you sit down and write and go, I am Bobby. I am Bobby. Actually, I'm not really Bobby, you know. I am Robert Smith the third. Actually, I'm not Bob Robert Smith the third. I am actually one unique entity that popped up, the odds being outstandingly outrageous. And I'm here. I'm here and either adding or I'm taking. I'm adding or I'm taking. You know, actually, I'm starting to think that if people just do what all these books and all these writings and all our philosophies, this is so easy. Everything would get so much simpler if we simply asked and looked at other people going, what is the purpose of that entity, that being right there? It can't be, oh, the first thing I see a good looking girl, oh, yeah, man, the purpose is for me and her to go in bed. Like, come on, man. It's not. See some, oh, let me see if I could hire him cheaply. Or, oh, that guy could be a good mechanic. Look at people differently, man. They were a little baby once. The odds of me being here, like, think about it. How the hell did I get here in your world? How the heck did Kramer get in my world? Or Rachel Elizabeth? Or Lee Ziegler? Okay? Harsh, King Daniel the Great. How did you guys come into my universe, dude? Think about this, man. Y'all did not know me. No one knew me. My brother doesn't even talk about me. Nobody knows me, right? And yet here I am running a damn church with 4,000 or 5,000 people in it. I am a magnet, okay, of light, attraction to solutions. This is not the road most traveled. This is the road least traveled. And the truth is, it is the road I was destined to end up on anyway. I should have just, I wonder, man, I wonder at 38, at 35, had I gone a direct, I knew that I should be teaching at 30. I did know that. Okay. Other people knew that too. Other people saw some stuff I was doing that wasn't around business. Magic Raven. And it was, I think it has been clear to me it's been clear to me that I had this thing, this energy that has some positive or healing, or I don't know. It's a little magic kind of thing. It's some kind of ability for me to go get into someone's universe and help them see. It's almost like I've had the ability for a long time to be able to go in someone's universe and sense what was going on. I remember meeting a guy that said he had no passion, no passion, no passion, no passion. He went on for days, man, talking about he just was without passion. And we were standing by a swimming pool, and I grabbed him and I pulled him in the swimming pool, 8-foot swimming pool. And the guy had plenty of passion. It was just not true that he didn't have passion. He just kept saying, I don't have any passion. He had passion when he, didn't have any air. So why do I say that? I can't even believe I'm saying this, but I am really happy for all the compression I went under. I am ecstatic for the betrayals. Actually, the betrayals have led me to such a dark, empty, sad, sad place that it left me with nothing else but this little tiny light and going, okay, what am I, bro? Let's just start over. Let's start over. And when I got a little discombobulated 2 or 3 minutes ago, notice what I did. I am running the church of I am this morning. The peeps in the audience are cool. They're my friends. I just need to calm down. I just need to be authentic, man. I need to be authentic. I learned a long time ago a little trick. If you get nervous speaking in front of people, I haven't been nervous speaking in front of other people in a long time. I mean, if it's a new group of people, of course, I feel a little. The best trick to do is to literally walk up there and go, hey, I'm Gary Cardone. And by the way, I am so nervous. Like, I can't believe how nervous I am. And this is like, I sure hope I do a decent job. As soon as I just put it out there authentically, everybody in the audience is like, wow, dude, like, I understand him being nervous. Of course you're nervous. It's okay. I'm nervous. Big deal, man. Half the time, I don't even know where I'm going. I mean, when I say I don't know where I'm going, I don't really mean that I just mean that half the time, it's not like when you're doing this, it's not like you're laser focused with this radar. Okay, my earnings in 2025 need to be this, and my CAGR was this, and my growth rate was 17%. And this is not a spiritual journey where you can calculate absolutely everything. Sometimes when I am the most uncomfortable, and if you're not willing to be uncomfortable, dude, just go ahead and say, I am not going to figure this out, because you're not going to get here sitting on a cruise ship or, taking smack or having sex with 13 different people. Like, it's not going to happen with a bunch of noise and you scamming. And like, it is the road less traveled. There's a reason there's not a million people in here. Okay? There's a reason there's people out bouncing into, got to go start my Bitcoin space right now. It's essential. Okay, dude. Awesome. If you want to improve your life, I've got some bougainvilleas out in the backyard, and all 10 of them, they all need to be dug up. All of them need to be dug up. They've been in potted plants for 2 years. And guess what? They need to get ripped to pieces, replanted, cleaned up, and that is a lot. It's painful. I am Gary Cardone, but I am not going to discover Gary Cardone by focusing on who you are. I'm not going to discover Gary Cardone by me writing a book and telling you what you should do. Okay. I am not going to be fully I am by stroking my own ego with my own knowledge. I don't know very much. I just know that I'm supposed to be here. I'm supposed to, if I show interest in another human being, I think it is the absolute greatest gift I can give another human being, just to be interested in their story. Now, I don't have to be interested in their story over and over and over and over and over and over again if there's no interest in the story. But to grant someone just a little bit of time without any judgment or criticism, a blank sheet, like you're looking at a piece of art, my God, could we possibly look at everyone we meet and re-meet and go, hey, I've never seen this piece of art before. I got it. I'm not going to like all art, but I should be able to look at art and go, is there anything about it? Like, I like that green color over there. There's one color there I like. Okay, it's awesome. Think about all the paintings you've ever seen in your whole life. These are people, man. I don't really judge I don't judge black and white, green, what color green. I just notice how they're arranged. We are art, Kramer. Like, I am a one-of-one. That's how we got here, man. I am a one-of-one, like a one-of-one, dude. I was at Van Gogh's immersion theater. I've been to Van Gogh's museum in Amsterdam, one in Tampa that's an immersion theater. The one in Tampa is better than the one in Amsterdam. Because it's an immersion, I get really close to the things. I could paint, I could do some things. And one of the pieces of art was $82 million. It's this big, man. $82 million, okay? Why? It's a one-of-one. I don't even think it's that good. Like, it's a one-of-one. You're one of one, pretending to be one of many. Angry at yourself because you're not like other people. Constantly comparing yourself to other people. You're sitting there perfect, maybe fucking confused because you're in a basket full of fruit that's not like you. Okay. And you're comparing against all these other things that are average at best, that literally believe they are one of many. You're comparing yourself to one of many, and you've completely missed the point of that you're literally a one-of-one. Okay, one-of-one, never to be repeated again if we're not in a matrix. But it ain't going to get repeated again. You know, if this was a computer simulation, there's no need, it's not necessary to make me uncomfortable. If this was a simulation and okay, Gary is a player, actor, this personality, dude, you don't need this many personalities. My personality is completely different than other people's. You wouldn't need a simulation. Like you wouldn't do it this way. You'd have 15 or 20 personalities, and that's it. We got billions, man. People are complex. And that complexity and the time they're allowed to show up, when they show up. Why did I show up when I showed up? Why did I do everything before I got here that in many ways really prepared me for this? I think we're going through this, and I'll close up here. I think we're in a spiritual fourth turning here. There's a beautiful book called the Fourth Turning. It was written in the late 90s. I think they were about 15 years early, but it goes through these cycles. It's a very, and it actually goes, a big chunk of the book is spent reviewing Joseph Campbell's work on archetypes, which I think is a very fascinating study. And I find it very interesting that although I may want to fight this, that this particular cycle places the elders, the wise, those who have had experience, not academia, but experience, become really, really, really valuable to society. And it's funny because I feel like I've lived through, I'm 67. So these cycles, these authors maintain around average of 86 years. We most certainly are deep into this last cycle. in my opinion. But it's interesting to me that as a young or man, when I was in my 20s up to 40s, maybe early 20s, I was most certainly not on the wisdom side. I was on the build, create, destroy, create, build, right? More of a warrior. And now I find myself decades later going, oh my God, man, I've gone through all these journeys, all the, all the study I've done, the millions of dollars I have spent, and I cannot tell you the 1,000 hours I've read, studied, been probed to be here in a world where I think the wisdom and the elders and the direction, okay? You know what? You know what we have less than Bitcoin? We have less authenticity on this planet than we do anything. And that is why I am here, okay? I have a particular energy in a particular time. I have a really a lot of interest. If I'm willing to move away from my own self, myopic, self-centered arrogance, or, my own bullshit, my own fear, my own ego, my own, hey, what if? A lot of responsibility. If I move past all that, I am supposed to be here with you right now. We're building a church with 1 million people in it. A church that can help people look at their one of oneness. I can't tell you exactly how I got here or how you got here, but I'm most certainly 99.9% sure you're one of one, man. And that there's nothing more important that I could do than help one human being discover, damn, one of one. What if there was one guy, man? One human being, one human being. Who do you admire? You admire the outrageous. Who do you admire? The outrageous. Be outrageous, okay? It's okay. You have already given your acknowledgement that outlandish, creative, crazy, wild, revolutionaries, freaks, the guys breaking the envelope, breaking the model, breaking the mold, making the loudest music, the loudest change, the Jimi Hendrixes of the world, okay? The Janis Joplins, the Jimmy Pages, the Picassos, the Michelangelos, the Nikola Teslas, okay? The crazy people that had no limitations on themselves. Why? They didn't give a fuck what you think. That's where you need to get to, man. Not, hey, I give an F because I want to be important. I want to have this. I want to be loved and I want more money. But actually, I help human beings discover who they are. We are in a church of 1 million people trying to tap into, I know nothing. Do not become convinced you know anything. Only know, hey, right now, my frequency is right here and it's vibrating correctly. It is the right harmonic, the right frequency. Bar, I don't care what you think. Okay, like I'm going to get a tremendous amount of pushback on this thing. Okay, I cannot worry about that pushback. The pushback is validation, by the way. It is validation. So I have to first get into the flow. At some point, this is the reason I tell these stupid little stories like, hey, walk up on a stage and the first thing you do is go, man, I am so scared. I'm nervous. I haven't spoken in a long time in front of people. Wow, I can't believe I'm a little, man, I'm nervous. Thank you guys for having me up. I hope I don't mess this up too much. See, that's very humble, okay? One, it's going to open the door of other people going, wow, that's cool, dude. Two, let's think how you trick yourself. Hey, I'm a new guy on the field. I'm gonna be a leader though. I'm gonna show the other new guys on the field how it's safe to raise your hand, say something in a space or on a lecture or a speech, and you do this little trick like, hey guys, my name's Bob, and gosh, I'm a little nervous here, man. This is quite the privilege to be here, but wow, this is scary. I hope I don't mess it up too much. You just showed another 5,000 people how to be elegant, dude. How to be cool, super cool. You want to be super cool, be super fucking humble without being, a little parasite, a little poo poo. Like I can be humble and be very powerful. I do not have to, be humble and hide. If I'm the smartest guy in the room, in every room, dude, I'm probably in the wrong rooms. If you're the smartest guy in the room, up your game, man. Come on, okay? And that's, we'll get to this. I cannot talk about time, being interested. Okay, many people will first be interested in themselves. How the hell do I get out of this problem? How the hell do I get out of this discomfort? That, I love that self-centeredness. Okay. If you could just, for the next 30 minutes when we leave here, if you're in a bad spot, if you're feeling rough, embrace it, baby. I would do a back dive, double flip with a twist into your pain in the next 30 minutes and just write down how miserable you are, how miserable, how disconnected from the truth you are. I don't even know where to start. Get into it, man. I don't know where to start. I'm lost. I'm lying. Yeah. Why do I ask you to do that? I ask you to do it so that you, one, embrace some humility. Hit the bottom. Okay. Realize that you know what? I think I am this close. I could flip this close. Anything could have happened to me that would have put me on the street on Dale Mabry, holding a sign at 67 asking for $5. And every one of you guys go, that's ridiculous. That would never happen to me. You're an arrogant pig. You're an arrogant, self-centered, myopic, lacking any humility whatsoever. But if you look at a broke person or a homeless person on the street, somebody that's going to an AA meeting, somebody that's just, got out of a hospital or whatever their life's going through, and you judge them, I am so close throughout my life of shit just going really different. And so this is why the authenticity part. I am sick and tired of looking up at our leaders and we all expect them to be perfect. And I am not perfect. I'm going to show you I am most certainly so flawed and stupid. But I'm brilliant. I am brilliant, dude. Okay, but I am not perfect. And in that not perfect, guess what I get to help other people with? My imperfections make it okay for you to have imperfections, and then you get to improve. But if I'm always sitting here with all the answers, I always look pretty because I'm faking shit out. I'm sticking shit in my face. I'm doing, let me do these. And who cares, man? You guys keep telling me how old I look. Fuck off, man. Why does it matter how I look? Who cares? Look, go check out Joel Osteen, dude. He looks awesome. I'm not doing that. We need some authenticity on this planet. And the authenticity is, you know what? I don't give a freak how much money you have, how what you could have done, didn't do, how many books or music articles you wrote. Today is the day. What am I doing right now? Am I like, bang, I am part of the solution? Because if you're not, let me tell you, I think we have plenty of problems, plenty of problem makers, plenty of problem. What's the word for it? Hey, let's spin up a bunch of problems. I know, grab a news station, mainstream media, or this new social media that's getting just as disgusting as mainstream media. You know why? Because these mediums that start getting attraction and people are following people and liking people and not liking people, and the dopamine, this is really sketchy territory. The hubris that will, to me, it's scary. So I have to constantly say, I'm really trying for freedom inside my own universe, right? Real freedom, the freedom to be able to think, do, be, adapt, mutate into what I like, to learn things. And action is that thing that constantly anchors me down into making more and more and more progress. So I would ask you guys, one of the action steps is, you know what you're going to have to do. In payment for this, you're going to have to go out and do something nice for somebody today. Okay. Something special, something meaningful, something out of your way, and you cannot brag. Okay. Second thing is, I would love you to send this a link to a friend of yours and just ask them, hey, take 20, 30 minutes, man, or clip a piece of it that you think would be interesting. How do we get 1 million people in church together? Can you imagine if there's 1 million people walking around with t-shirts? I am. Da, 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 da. I am part of the I am movement. Man, this is cool. I am productive today. I am rich. I am enlightened. I am magical. I am magical, man. Like why am I saying I'm magical? I need you to open your field of vision to the magic. I have 2 little birds. I have animals all in my life. I've always had animals in my life. But I have these 2 birds, 2 cardinals that have been visiting me for about a year now. They're so beautiful. And I'm reminded by these 2 cardinals. I think about my mother quite a bit, because where I grew up, I mean, I probably killed a dozen of these poor birds, but where I grew up, there was lots of wildlife, and I just see these 2 birds. They come and steal my other birds' food, and it's really beautiful to see you know what? I have deemed these cardinals as magical. They come in and out of my life on a daily basis, just kind of like, and they remind me, man, whoa, magic. I mean, their beaks are beautiful. Their colors are beautiful. Their songs are stunning. And I an old man taught me that once on a river stream in England. There was a kingfisher that stayed on this property. I own this property. And I always asked the guy, I said, hey, why don't you use any power equipment? I mean, it's 7 or 8 acres, dude. He's like, come with me. And he showed me the kingfisher. And he said, I'm not using any equipment here. I'm here to enjoy the kingfisher when he blesses me with a flyby. It was staggering. I never forget that, okay? I will never forget that. And I hope you never forget, oh, wow, listen to this guy that's got a bunch of Bitcoin talking about cardinals in his backyard. Yeah, they're my little butterflies, man. They are magic. And people, I know people that I would consider some of the most valuable human beings in my life. And most people I know in business wouldn't give you 12 cents for them. 12 cents. These are wonderful human beings that are grossly misjudged on a regular basis. So I just want you to open your mind when you're going out. Remember, you are the cardinal and you're the kingfisher. When you go out and do something really nice for somebody without them asking, especially somebody that you really don't normally do, like you want to really mess with your system, go help somebody you don't like help. Okay. Guess what we just did? You became the butterfly. If I become the butterfly, it's amazing how many cardinals come in my life. You see where we're headed here? So I want you to do that. Please, please, please repost this, okay? Repost it, send an email, do whatever. I'm trying to help people. And it's going to be a lot easier for us to be and create a great 21st century if all of us at least have the intention of grabbing some tools and trying to help each other, man. Like, you're my angel, okay? I need angels and butterflies and magic in my life. I beg you to tap into your magic so that it makes it a magical place for me to live, that it makes it more okay for me to like really become a wizard. I mean, would that be cool, dude? I want to be a wizard, okay? Have a great harmonic frequency. Go crazy. Tune your piano, tune your freak. You are the guitar, man. Your 12 strings, 6 strings, you are the paintbrush, okay? I am the paintbrush, and it is full of harmonic frequency. I mean, crazy, wild, magical frequency. That is who I am, and that is who I shall continue to become. And I want you to do the same thing. I want you to go and really tap in, find out who the authentic you is, because like there is no greater treasure than that. I could not imagine. Thank you guys very much. You guys have a great week, and be powerful. Be really, really powerful, and do something spectacular. Ciao.